Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel, Politically Very Incorrect. I am your host, Suha. Today's episode is going to be a very special episode because we're going to be, me and my guest, we're going to be tackling mostly the elections and the results, especially in the swing states, especially in Chicago. My guest today is Ameen Yehya, and he is one of the my best friends since college days, and he is a journalist, very renowned, especially in the Middle East. And he's a TV anchor, producer, AI author, and specialist in social media. Ameen is the author of numerous books. To name a few, From Code to Couture, Unleashing AI's Potential in Fashion Design, and The Content Creator Blueprint, Building a Personal Brand Online. And you can find these books on Amazon. Ameen worked as an anchor with CNBC Dubai and volunteered as a relief manager and translator with Noor Haven of West Michigan, Detroit. Welcome, welcome, Ameen, to my YouTube channel.
Thank you. Thank you, Suha. I'm so glad to be here,
Thank you so much for being
reuniting again
finally, right?
after some years.
Yeah, a couple of years. Let's leave it at
Yeah, yeah. Let's not exaggerate more.
exactly. Before we begin, I'm going to start with a generic question here. Did you expect the results of the elections?
To be honest, yes, I was expecting this, especially in the last 24 hours, Suha, because it was obvious when President Trump won Pennsylvania and Michigan, I was like, okay, he's gonna win. Because Michigan, historically, it's a Democrat, but now it's voting for Trump, which is a really historical event. So yes, I was expecting Trump to be re-elected again to the White House.
You know, the latest polls that I saw today showed that around 15 million Americans, including Arabs and Jews, did not vote, did not even go and vote. What does that say? How do you interpret that?
Um, Actually, these elections in 2024 were, yeah, it was really the most weird and unexpected elections. And I believe you live there and you know the whole story.
Mhm.
So yes, there were so many issues that affected the elections because what's happening in Gaza and in Lebanon raised so many questions. Everybody's asking what's going on there, why there is war, why people are being killed in this brutal way. So the mood of the people, especially the young people, the young American, and I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, they now believe that we should do something about it. So that's why, and they saw that um, the Biden administration did nothing to stop the genocide in Gaza. So that's why maybe it was a revenge from the Democrats. That's my opinion. So,
Based on what you just said, I found something that was very interesting online a couple of days ago, which kind of, I don't know if you agree with it or not. I'm gonna read a little bit of it. Um, it says, like, traditionally, Arab American participation in the electoral process has been motivated by a range of factors, including immigration policies, foreign policy stances, and domestic issues, especially economics. In recent years, the Arab American community has grown in both numbers and political influence, yet it has not gained full recognition or embrace by candidates and parties. At most, there is superficial lip service, but they are for the most part ignored, which makes sense, I guess, for what you were saying right now. It continues to say, in American politics, money is king. Until
That's
Arab
true.
American, yeah. And
That's true.
this is the most important kind of fascinating piece of information I found because it kinds of resonates with what I'm thinking. I don't know if it does with you. Let's say it. In American okay, I said that. Until Arab Americans are major donors to political campaigns or build a stronger network of groups that seek to influence elections, they will only be considered when needed, where they are significant population in a closing swing state.
I agree on that.
I agree with that too, because I think it sums up the whole
I agree totally. Yeah, this is right.
yeah,
It's about time because Suha, what happened in Michigan was really شيء كتير عظيم وشيء غير مسبوق.
صحيح.
Unprecedented صراحة لأنه because people went there to vote to Trump, and Trump himself, he went to the streets and he met so many people, among them the Lebanese community and the Arab community and the Muslim community. He was closer to them than the Democrat nominated
Harris.
Kamala Harris. That's why I see a change of mood towards this. And I don't know. I think something happened in Michigan. You know, President Trump, now he's president-elected Trump, he went to a Lebanese restaurant and there is something happened there. And he listened to the Lebanese people and to the Arab people. And he promised to end the wars in the Middle East. I hope he does this, but these kinds of visits paid him a lot in his electoral campaign. So let's be honest, the Arab and Muslim vote was somehow made a difference in these elections. And as we read before, we should work on that and create, as Lebanese and Arabs, create a lobby that could be more effective in any kind of elections coming in the USA. It's like the Jewish lobby, you know what I mean? So it's about time because among all the voters, there was like notable portion of Arab Americans and people from the Middle East and North Africa. They voted for Trump. This is the kind of change, and I hope Mr. Trump takes this in consideration to stop the war in the Middle East, at least.
Yeah, I know. Unfortunately, though, going online, especially on Twitter, I'm sure that you are also following up what's going on Twitter.
Yeah.
I have realized quite a lot of movements against, Arab Americans, like Africans American as well, and even Hispanic Americans, who voted for Trump at the end of the day.
Mm.
But what kind of like made me do this, episode with you, I mean, because you are and living in a swing state, which is very important and which is
Michigan.
critical, correct? So I want to know and I'm sure my audience would love to know, President-elect Trump has already said that he told Netanyahu finish the job in Gaza. Um, he used the Palestinian word as a slur, like as an insult, okay? And still, all this has been forgotten, put aside by the Arab Americans, or the majority of them, and they voted for him, despite the fact that he already said that. This is kind of what's puzzling the American people right now, especially on the Democrat side. How is this working? I mean, he was very vocal about his stance, right? And yet they voted for him.
Why is that?
Yes. Do you have any clue why did they do that? Why didn't they vote all like for Jill Stein or the Democrats? Or, I mean, it's kind of puzzling, don't you think?
Yeah, it is. It was actually, and as I said at the beginning of this interview or meeting, I think people were getting revenge from Biden and his administration because of what happened in Gaza. I think so. It played a major role changing the voters and making states from blue to red. It was really historical and significant. So I believe, I don't know, part of the people who voted Trump, it's because they don't want Democrats anymore in power. This
Why
is
didn't
what I
they,
believe.
why didn't they vote for Jill Stein, the third party, though?
They did, and you know the United States constitutional electoral system. It's really complicated, Suha. You know that
Yeah.
we live here and we know that.
Mhm.
We've been there and we've done it. So yeah, this is the electoral system.
Do you
We
think
can do nothing about it.
do you think that most of the voters who did not show up on the day of probably felt discouraged and they thought that probably, okay, my vote is not going to change anything because both the Republicans and the Democrats are establishment and they
Hmm.
have the same agenda and the same foreign policy because as you and I remember from our college days, we were taught about the American, especially politics, international politics, but we had such more focus on American politics as well and uh, mainstream media. So I recall, I don't know if you do the same, that one of the professors that we had at college, he was very vocal about the importance of those who put the policy in America are different than when the president gets, or whoever it was, like a Republican or a Democrat.
Mhm.
What he says is that
You're talking about an agenda
foreign,
or something
yeah,
like
yeah,
that?
foreign politics is already determined for any president who comes over for 50 years ahead. So the president, whoever it was, be it a Republican or a Democrat,
Democrat.
they have to abide by what's been done as a policy in the Middle East, especially for 50 years. They are just players there. They have limits. They are limited with their movement from changing here and changing there, unless, of course, something extraordinary happens in the world.
Yeah. The black swan.
Yes.
The black
So,
swan.
yes. So, do you think that particular, because I feel like we did live this, especially now in this election.
Mhm.
It kind of resonated a lot with me. I remembered that particular, uh, kind of like that professor, he had an impact because of this, because I did not understand what he was meaning until I'm living it right now, 50 years ahead, which is kind of a scary thought, come to think of it.
What was that? What was that again, Suha? And I remember the name of the doctor. His name was
Ammar,
Rams
I think.
Ammar.
Yeah, Ammar. Yeah, I remember his name.
Dr. Rams Ammar.
Ramis Ammar, yeah.
I hope
I
he's
hope he's
okay. He was a
alive.
great
Yeah,
he
I
was a
hope
great
so.
doctor, a
He
great
was.
teacher.
Yeah, he was. I say hi to him if he's still alive, and hopefully
I
he'll.
hope I hope he's okay.
I hope so too. So they put what he said is that the American policy is not determined by the president or the administration, certain administration that come consecutively. It is already determined. I don't know by who,
Mm.
which is the question mark and very
I, I
scary.
I believe he was talking about the deep state, which is which exists in every country. You know that.
There
There's
are
always
lots
the
of
deep
people
state.
who say
It's a
uh,
myth
it's a myth and it's a
and conspiracy
conspiracy
theory.
theory. Yeah,
Ah,
that's
I don't know, but there is a deep state. I believe there's a deep state in every country. So maybe he was talking about this deep state that
maybe he was.
puts the points on the agenda for like every day, what should they eat? I don't think so. I don't think this much.
No, not
But
this
definitely,
particular stuff.
definitely, a country like United States, they should have a plan for 50 and 100 years. It's a big country. It's a great country. Let's say that, and it has a lot of potential and capacity. But let's see what will happen in the coming 4 years when Trump is in the White House. So, what do
It's
you think would happen? Let me ask you this
I
question.
shudder to think, to be honest with you. It's I mean the just read the the agenda 25, I think. Yeah,
Mhm.
that's so scary if you really delve into it. And I feel like it hasn't been announced, and why aren't they announcing it to the public? They
Do you think it's true, Suha? You're a journalist, investigative journalist. Do you believe this is true? Is it official? I mean, I heard about that, I read about that, but
Oh
is it
yeah, I
true? Is
mean
it authentical?
he's been very vocal about it, and he's
Yeah.
look at his administration. He's appointing people that are very right extremists, and pro what's going on in Gaza, and he kind of like also accepted the $100 million from a Zionist, very well known, that she asked him right there and then on TV live. She asked him, if you promise to go to West Bank and annex West Bank, I'm going to give you $100 million. And he did. He took the $100 million. So his agenda is, you asked my opinion. His
Hmm.
agenda is, I hope I hope when he takes over that things would change and he would really think of the American people as a whole, Democrats, third party, Republicans, and not go after uh, his opponents who disagree with him as he promised on his first day. We'll see. That's a very big test for him and for his administration. And based
Yeah.
on that first day, I'm things will come more.
Let's remind your viewers that the inauguration will take place on January 20th,
Yes.
for him for the second term to
Yes.
be the 47th president.
God help us all. Anyways, let's move on.
I wish all the best for the USA because we know the American people are great people and they deserve the best. Seriously.
We are Americans and we are talking out.
Yeah, yeah.
So we are also voicing
And we are proud.
Of course, we are voicing out our concerns, and this is our right, constitutional right. As long as we still have it, we have the freedom of speech. And so that's why. It's because we are concerned about our future here in America and, of course, the world. That's why we are voicing out our concerns. And
Mm.
we have listening ears somewhere in the administration, the new administration. Anyway, since you are an expert with the social media, I want to ask you
Mhm.
some very important question.
Okay.
Let's see this. How do you evaluate the Western mainstream media, the role that they played before the elections, during, and now after? How do you evaluate it? Were they
You're talking
biased?
you're talking about the US media or
Yeah.
the global
No,
media?
no, I'm
Because
talking specific.
everyone, every media in every country and every region, they took the part they want from the campaign. I mean, the domestic channels, they took uh, the local issues that we are
Mhm,
concerned about, like inflation and prices and gas and stuff like that.
mhm.
So, are we talking about this?
You
So,
can talk about whatever you want. This is a kind of like a general, but I want specifics about the elections. But
okay,
yeah,
okay. I know what you mean.
yeah.
Well, you know. what happened in these elections in 2024 is that the social media took the lead in this election, especially that we know that Donald Trump,
Mhm.
who's going to be Secretary of State soon, as you know. So I believe social media played a different role than the mainstream media, the what we call it like the
Fox News,
yeah, those kind of
big
media.
corporations.
So
Yeah.
yeah, I believe Trump did good because he went to social media where the youngest people there, the 18 and above, and they want to vote. So he went to TikTok and he did some like podcast interviews, and he was advised to do this by his son, Barron Trump. And this guy is really smart. And as I told you before, Suha, I'm preparing a documentary about Barron Trump, and it's gonna be really exciting. You asked me about that,
Yes,
so yeah. I think it's gonna be a good year for the Americans, and I hope this will happen. I hope so
a,
after the elections.
a good year and what? I mean, and specifically, how are you basing your opinion on
Because I believe that President Trump now, the president-elect Trump is going to do his best to fulfill his promises during the electoral campaign because there's no pressure on him from any lobby. He's doing his 4 years and then he's leaving. There's no pressure, and he's got the Congress and he's got the Senate. So I think he's free to do some stuff he promised. At least I'm talking internally. I'm not talking about Middle East because nobody knows what could happen. So I think he will focus on the intern to make, as he promised, to make the life of the American better. He said that. I'm not saying this. So this is what I'm talking about. So
yes, but
for the media,
yes, that's the
yeah.
question.
I was saying to you, yeah, we went to another part of the discussion because we're still thinking about the elections, and we're still in the mood of elections. Uh, I believe that social media played a major role in this elections. Local media, it was divided between, as usual, they got paid like any media.
From both parties.
They call it advertisement, but they're paying, to be on TV. So I think the media dealt with the elections, all the things we were seeing. It was live on social media, so nobody was watching a lot of the traditional media. But definitely both candidates, I mean Harris and Trump, they used the traditional media to expand their message. But I believe the social media played the main role. So
And what determining which one
yes,
will be
absolutely, to
winning?
changing, creating another public opinion, and I believe Trump played it well. By the way, yeah, he did, and he changed the minds of the youngest.
Not all of
And
them. Not all of
I'm
them.
not I'm not saying I'm not
Yeah.
saying all of them, but he used social media to get the attention of the people of youngest people, and he succeeded in this. Let's give him the benefit
But
of the doubt.
I believe that his interview with Joe Rogan played a part of it because
Hmm.
Joe Rogan did not.
It was advised by his son, Barron Trump.
Yeah, but Joe Rogan played a very big part of it because he did not kind of like correct him when he said lots of things that are incorrect. Like Joe Rogan played along with the wave, with the red wave. He did not, he should have asked more questions. Like when Trump said something, he needed to kind of like question. him, okay, about the accuracy of what you said. You said something, but like a few years ago, you said something else. So how do you propose this, like opposing, which one are you gonna take
Well, you
in
know what?
your
I
policy?
saw a part of Joe Rogan interview with
Yeah.
Donald Trump, and there was a part that Joe Rogan says to Trump that I'm not gonna elect you, I'm not gonna give you my vote because you are a Hitler, the new Hitler. Did you hear that? Did you see this video?
Yes, but that was kind of a joke. And he was insinuating that the part of the Democrats are calling you Hitler. It was obviously a joke. He just threw it there like, oh, I am a very good, commentator, whatever, or interviewer. Anyway, this is part one. We're not done yet. I know that you have
I want to make my food.
I know you're
I
hungry
want to make my
after a
lunch.
long day. Yeah.
No, you're okay. You're okay.
Thank you so much, for coming, you know, over here. It was great to reconnect with you as a dear friend and also as a journalist. Looking forward for your future adventures. Let us know, please. I'm gonna include your email if you don't mind, or your website at the end, in my comments when I put this interview on YouTube channel. On
Absolutely, Suha, you can do this.
Go ahead.
Absolutely.
If you have anything to share with the audience, please go ahead about
Uh,
your.
I just want to say that I'm really really happy and honored to have you as my podcaster after like many years. You said we were in college together. We had so good memories, and we were you said you always say to me we were the golden age. And we were the real journalists, not like the social media journalist.
Yeah.
It's really sad, but we will keep fighting, Suha. Thank you for having me on your podcast, and I hope that we will meet in person. Maybe you come to Michigan or I go to California. Better for me to come to California because, as we said before, we have common friends there, so I can visit them and visit you. Absolutely. Thank you for having me, Suha.
أهلا وسهلا
Seriously.
anytime.
شكرا لك، ما حكينا كثير عربي كرمال
I know
الجمهور
we did
بس
not. I'm sorry. It's okay. We'll make up for
نعمل حلقة
it.
تانية بالعربي إن
We
شاء
will.
الله.
We will, inshallah. I want
Thank
to
you, Suha.
thank you so much. I just want to have my conclusion for this episode. I want to send a message to all Americans, especially the youth. Do not be discouraged by this election results. Believe that your constitutional rights, especially the freedoms of expression, speech, and protest peacefully, are sacred and worth fighting for. As an American, a Lebanese American, a mom, a journalist, war survivor, I know exactly what you're going through, your frustrations, your anger, and your disappointment. However, giving up is not an option. Fundamental change requires perseverance, knowledge, awareness, empathy, regrouping, organizing, and most important, unity. We as Americans have a lot in common than what we are led to believe by the mainstream media and our sellout politicians. Change of this grave caliber is a process. So please do not give up. The future is yours and it's worth the fight. We are in this together. Thank you so much for my audience for stopping by. For Ameen, thank you so much for your time. Very precious. And please do me a huge favor. Subscribe to my channel, Politically Very Incorrect. Hit the bell button to be notified when I drop a new video. Share, like to help me with the algorithm, please. This is your host, Suha Amer. Until next time, don't be afraid to stand up for the truth and for what is right. Peace.